Hey, children fans! Chill Pal Big D back here again with a weekly news announcement. Yes, I know it has literally been probably, a month or more since I've done one of these. I do apologize for that. I apologize for being gone for a while. Life happens, It just, a lot of things came up, a lot of changes for me and my family, and a lot of things that are just going on, and I've had to put my attention towards other things. I do apologize for that. I am back. There will be only one video this week, and then I'll really rack it back up next week. I just want to get it out there, just because what week this is, I want to make sure I got a video done. I may do one more tribute video later this week, and I'll explain why later. But I am back. I'll be putting more videos out. I am sorry, and thank you for your patience. I have been gone for a while. I've been gone a couple times for a while. This year hasn't been the best year for me putting videos out, and I do apologize. But let me tell you, my life has drastically changed in the 8 months of this year so far, entering the 9th month now. My life has changed so much compared to what it was even this time last year, or even this time 5 years ago. So just kind of holding on and doing things and getting things going. Yeah, so we're back. Those of you in my channel, though, what I like to do is I try to do this every week where I talk about what's new coming out Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, anything else that comes out movie-wise for the current week, what's coming out for the next week, and then anything was majorly announced over the last few weeks. So I'll do that, and then I'm going to go through a few things, talk about a couple things really quick and let you know what I'm headed with things, and we'll go from there. So this week, the last few weeks haven't been much. There hasn't really been a whole lot. Matter of fact, last week there was nothing that came out. It was a really dead week. And I mean, we've had other stuff come out. I know that a few weeks ago, Jurassic World came out a few weeks ago. The movie Men came out a couple weeks ago. And a few others. I really haven't picked up a whole lot recently. I've been kind of pulling back a little bit on that. But there hasn't been a whole lot. Now, this was a different story. There is quite a bit, so let's go through it. First off, Shout Factory released Funhouse on 4K for the first time today. Criterion Collection released the movie Blowout on 4K for the first time. But you're going to notice between this week and next week, it's almost all 4K. Just all 4K. So, and then we get into, also this week, was it Minions: The Rise of Gru? Came out Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K. I did get this, oddly enough, I got this on last Friday. Walked into Walmart, there it was. So I picked this up. We watched it. My wife and I loved it. I mean, I love these movies. Not the Gru. The Gru character's okay for me. It's the Minions that do it for me every single time. I love these little guys. They are awesome. Highly recommend. This was a really good one. My wife and I really enjoyed this. I highly recommend this. So that came out today. Blu-ray, DVD, 4K. I think Target has exclusive, but there was no Steelbook that I could find by Best Buy, which is funny because all the other ones came out in Steelbook. So there's that. We also had, let's see here, 310 to Yuma 4K come out today, and there is a special edition Steelbook by Best Buy for that. Young Sheldon Season 5 came out Blu-ray and DVD today. And then what was left for today was, and I got 2 of these in, but friggin' Amazon didn't send me the other one. So Star Trek's 5 and 6 finally came out in 4K today. So I got them both today, sitting in front of my door there. So there they are. Oh, this is beautiful, 4K. They even added in both versions of 6 too, the theatrical and the director's cut. I was wondering if they're going to do that or not. So there they are. The other thing that came out today was the Star Trek The Motion Picture, the big, beautiful box set with the 3 different versions of the movie. For some weird reason, Amazon, even though I ordered that thing 2 months ago, same day I ordered these, for some reason, I won't get it till next week. I don't know why. I've already seen a few YouTubers have already gotten and done unboxings of them. But for some weird reason, Amazon decided that Big D don't get his till next week. All right, well, at least I got these to start off with, and I'm super excited. They're Blu-ray, digital codes, 4K discs. I mean, I can't wait to watch these. I'm super excited. But also today, there was a Star Trek 1 through 6 4K box set that came out. And again, there was that Star Trek The Motion Picture. There was also a Star Trek The Motion Picture disc that came out that wasn't in the that big fancy set with 3 different versions. They put out just the director's cut on 4K, and so that came out today. And what else? Let me see. Was there anything else? And that was it. That was it. Now, before I move on to what's coming out next week, because there's a few things coming next week, I want to talk about these again. There's a reason why these specifically came out this week, and the motion picture specifically came out this week, and that is because Thursday marks the 56th anniversary of Star Trek. There's going to be, Paramount is doing a big, huge Star Trek Day that day. There are going to be all kinds of live streams and stuff. I'm going to be watching every bit of it. You know me. But super excited about that. But that's the reason why these came out. Like all of a sudden they popped up and then they're rushed out really quickly, is because this does mark the 56th anniversary of Star Trek this week. So I got these. I'm just bummed I didn't get the motion picture. I really wanted, because to be honest with you, on the motion picture, the deluxe set that I got has a version of the movie that I have not seen since I was a kid, and it's the TV version of the motion picture. Which, when they were filming 2, they went back and put they filmed a couple extra scenes to insert in the motion picture. So I haven't seen that version since I was a kid. So I'm really interested to see that version again, just because I can't remember what was added into it. I know I watched the director's cut that they put up on Paramount Plus 10, 11 times maybe. That's no joke. And I've seen the motion picture, the regular theatrical cut. I've seen that numerous times over the years. But I've only seen the TV cut once, and that's when I was a kid. I don't remember back when that came out, because I want to say it was like 80, 81 when that came out. We didn't have a VCR, yes, a VCR or a Betamax in my home yet. So it went on TV, and then that was it. It wasn't like you could record it or go and download it somewhere or something like that. It was on, it was over, and I don't ever remember being on TV again. If it was, I didn't catch it. So I was extremely excited about this one. I'm bummed that I didn't get that version of it. But just so you guys know that on Thursday marks the anniversary of Star Trek. There's going to be a big hoopla. If you're a fan like I am, I know last year's was really cool. They brought a lot of really cool guests out. Got to see a lot of really neat things. It was very nostalgic. I know they're going to be probably doing quite a bit this year in honor of Nichelle Nichols, who passed away a couple weeks ago. So that's going to be really cool to see too. So be on the lookout for all that. That does happen later this week. Now let's talk about coming out next week on Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K. So next week, interesting week. So again, I would say all of it's 4K next week, so with one title. So Shout Factory releasing Platoon and The Fog, both in 4K next week. Now I do know The Fog because it's a John Carpenter movie. They're releasing one of those things that comes with the album, with the soundtrack to the movie on it. They're coming like kind of with the Big Trouble in Little China. I know they did with the Halloween movies too, the 4Ks that came out. So that's getting the same treatment for The Fog. Also next week, I pre-ordered this thing a while ago, and I'm super excited. Real Genius comes out in 4K. It's going to be a Blu-ray DVD 4K disc. I am super excited about it. It's one of my all-time favorite classic love comedies. It ranks right up there. My 3 favorite comedies of all time is A Real Genius, Animal House, and oh gosh, of course I'm going to forget the other one. And Big Lebowski. Those are my top 3 comedies I love more than anything of all time. So super excited to see it come out in 4K. I never got the Blu-ray, so it's a major upgrade for me. Also next week, Friday the 13th, the original, comes out in 4K for the first time, and I'm interested to see that. I know that they've done a lot of stuff when Shout Factory released that box set a couple years ago, the Friday the 13th box set. Now this is being put out by Paramount, not by Shout Factory, so I'm curious to know if it's going to look any better than what those discs look like. I'm assuming so, but I know that Shout Factory did a really amazing job with that Friday the 13th set, so we'll have to see. Also next we have Monty Python, The Meaning of Life coming out in 4K for the first time. Fatal Attraction is coming out in 4K. We have the Addams Family coming out, the original Addams Family, the original one came out in like the mid-90s. And then Eli Roth's History of Horror Volume 3 comes out next week. And the last 2, and I actually saw these movies over the weekend, and the last 2 are Elvis, which is coming out Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K. And then Lightyear, which is coming out in Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, and there is a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook, which would mean I'm pretty sure there'll be some sort of Target exclusive there too. Those are all coming out next week. Now I can say I saw both Elvis and I saw Lightyear over the weekend, and I love them both. I was really surprised. I wasn't so sure on Elvis. I was like, I'm not really sure about it. But the way they told the story from a different point of view than the story we've heard every time, told basically from Elvis, that was really neat to see some stuff. There's stuff in that movie I did not know happened to him, and things that he had to go through that I never knew. So I actually really enjoyed it. It had some good music in it. Obviously, it's got Elvis music, but it had other music in there too. And it was a really good story. It was really well done. Tom Hanks was phenomenal in it. The guy who played Elvis himself did an amazing job as well. It was very good. I really liked it. And then coming off that, my wife and I decided to watch Lightyear 2, which again, I know a lot of people put beat down on Lightyear. I really thought Lightyear was a great movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I loved in the beginning of the movie, this is not spoiling anything, but in the movie, they're all, Andy, these were Andy's toys, and this was the movie that inspired Andy to go out and buy the toys, and it was neat to see these characters. And I think it was a little bit weird at first to see Buzz Lightyear, Chris Evans do the voice instead of oh my gosh, Tim Allen. But after a few minutes, you kind of let that go, and I liked it. I thought it was a really fun movie. There was a couple issues here and there with like little plot holes here and there that were like, you could have wanted to do this, or maybe we should have done this. But I thought it was really cool. I really, really enjoyed it. The animation looked really good, and it was just a really fun movie. I'm disappointed that people bashed it. I know why some people bashed it, and for them, well, you stop being so damn effing ignorant. But all in all, it was a really fun movie, and I really highly recommend. It's on Disney Plus, right now. So, and Elvis was on HBO, so that was easy. But I mean, they were both really good movies. And as Big D the Movie Hunter, I would highly recommend them. Elvis, I would give, out of my 1 through 10 red vines, I would give it a solid 8.5. Could have been a little bit better, because I think my biggest complaint was it could have been a little bit shorter. I think it's almost 3 hours long, so there are parts of the movie where you're kind of like, okay, I can see where this is going, but we can speed this up a little bit. But otherwise, in Lightyear, I give a solid 9. I really like Lightyear. I really thought it was a really fun movie. It was a great way to end the night for my wife and I that night, because we do movie nights on Saturday night. So it was great. I really super enjoyed it, super excited about it. I do know this. Thor: Love and Thunder goes up on Disney Plus on Thursday. Star Trek Day goes up there. So this weekend, I'll be watching Thor finally. So I'm looking forward to that too. But some definitely good movies out there. And that's it for this week. And next week, I want to talk about some announcements. So I also want to talk about the fact that I will be doing some movie reviews coming up here really soon. I've watched a lot of movies recently, because it's one of my escapisms when things are kind of going crazy. I'll sit down and watch some movies. I actually watched all the Wrong Turn movies. I had only seen the first 2. I thought I'd seen them all, but I hadn't. So I watched all 6. I sat down over a week and just kept one and just kept watching them. So I want to do a review on all 6 of those movies as a collection. I also, I just talked to you about the fact that I saw Elvis and Lightyear. Oh, gosh, I've seen so many things lately. I can't remember. And all of a sudden, of course, I'm on here and I forgot to write it down. And now I'm like, I saw this movie called Maneater. Which was terrible. I saw, it was the Reef. It was a sequel to The Reef that came out in like 2010, and that was okay. Finally got to see Jurassic World. I really liked that one, the last Jurassic World. But there's some movies that I've been watching lately that I definitely want to do reviews on, and things that I kind of was like, well, this movie sucks. I actually sat down recently and also watched the original Stand, not the remake that came out about a year and a half ago, the original one. My wife and I sat down and watched it, and I'm actually going to think about reviewing that one too. We're going to watch the remake, and I think I'll sit down and probably do a video on both of them saying what I liked about this one, what I didn't like about this one, blah, blah, blah. So that'll be coming up probably sometime too. But definitely saw a lot of movies, a lot of things that I really, really enjoyed. In some cases, a lot more than I thought I would enjoy them. So that's always a big thumbs up for me. So with that being said, let's talk about what was announced. So this was announced a while ago, but I want to make sure, because this is the other movie I saw last week. Top Gun Maverick will be coming out in Steelbook. There's a Steelbook, there's a Blu-ray, there's a DVD, there's a 4K, and there's probably something else on there. That'll be out November 1st. I did see Top Gun last week. Frack, that was a good movie. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did. I really got into it. I forgot how those scenes were. They're in the jet flying around. I forgot how fantastic those scenes are, and how it's so much fun to watch them. And I love jet fighters. Most people don't know this about me. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a pilot until I got these, and it all kind of went downhill after that. But I always wanted to be a pilot, so I find this stuff really fascinating. I really like it. So I absolutely love Top Gun Maverick. I really liked it. I probably liked it as much as I like the original, which I've seen, 30 times probably in my life. So highly recommend it, and it does come out November 1st. Also, we have Wayne's World coming out in 4K. They just released that Steelbook, like a month and a half ago? That is coming out the 15th of November on 4K. Bullet Train, which just hit theaters like week before last. They've announced that for the Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K, and there is a special edition Steelbook, and that will be out on the 18th of October, so next month. That's a really fast turnaround time. I don't know if you noticed that. Top Gun is the exception this year, but if you've noticed, the majority of movies that hit theaters now, within a month or two, they're coming out already. Matter of fact, in a lot of cases, they're in the theaters for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden they're popping up digitally. So it's a really weird time we live in now, where when I was a kid, I'm not kidding you, and this is going to date me. This is the older dirt speak here. But when I was a kid, I remember movies coming to theaters, and you would literally have to wait a year before to pop up. And this is before you know, actually even during the VHS era, you'd have to wait a year before it would come out. You know, so you'd see this movie and go, well, it'll be out in a year or so. In some cases, maybe even longer. And then I remember over time working for Suncoast and working for independent movie video rental stores, it went from like a year down to like 8 months, and went down to 6 months, and hovered around 6 months for years. And now it's going down to where it's like a month and a half, 2 months. It's really weird to see how the industry has changed over the years. Also, let's see here. So getting back to this, Bullet Train will be out on the 16th of November, so that's not that far away. And then we have, this is going to be really cool. It's a documentary called Pennywise, the story of it, about, you know, all 3 movies and the book and stuff like that. It looks really interesting. Comes out 24th of October, of course, you know, time for the holiday. And then we have The Running Man coming out in 4K, and there's going to be a steelbook for it. Laws, yes. That'll be out the 8th of November. You know I'm going to get that. It's Schwarzenegger. That's my man. I'll be watching that. And the last one I'm going to talk to you about today is Saw, the Ultimate Collector's Edition, coming out in 4K. So it's all the Saw movies coming out in 4K in a big set, and it's got, the set is in this box, and on top of the box is adorned that one trap that Shaughnessy, I can't remember her last name, wore in the first movie that went around her mouth and got stuck in her mouth. It's got that mechanical device on top of it, and it's all the movies in 4K. So that's, if you're a big Saw fan, it looks really neat. I gotta say, I saw that, I was like, all right, on. I don't need the Saw movies in 4K. I don't see any movies in 4K. But if you're a hardcore Saw fan, it'd be a really neat kind of little display piece on there. So for sure, that's for sure. So, but that is it for now. I got this go a little bit longer. I didn't expect to go this long. I do apologize, but thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you're picking up out there. I'm kind of curious whether people are picking up, because there's not a lot actually major been coming out lately. So I'm kind of curious what other stuff you've been picking up. I know that Vinegar Syndrome just had a big sale, and I know that Severance had a big sale and stuff like that. And so there's a bunch of stuff there. There wasn't anything really I wanted, so I didn't get on top of those. But let me know what you guys are seeing. Also, nothing from Dollar Tree in quite a long time. I have a couple message boards I go on to and read up on the Dollar Tree. And Dollar Tree's not got anything in a while. So again, another reason why I haven't done the Dollar Tree videos, because they just haven't had anything. So, but other than that, leave me some comments down below. Like, subscribe, the bell. You guys know the whole thing. Thank you so much for watching and being patient with me. I truly appreciate it. Please take care. Always keep hunting, because you never know what you're going to find. And as always, especially for this week, live long and prosper. Bye.